Imagine this. You're a plumber, called for a regular job, and suddenly an elderly lady asks you to do something you'd never expect. What would you do? Today, I'm sharing a story that will definitely make you rethink the surprises life can bring. Stay tuned. An unexpected request. What really happened? The story begins like any other routine day for a plumber. A call came in from a 64-year-old woman who mentioned a minor issue in her home that needed fixing. As professionals do, he arrived at her house expecting nothing out of the ordinary, just another job to tick off the list. But what happened next turned into an unforgettable experience. The woman, after explaining her plumbing issue, looked at him with a seriousness he couldn't ignore and asked for something completely unrelated to his job. Her request wasn't about pipes or leaks, it was something deeply personal. This wasn't just a strange or funny moment. It was a testament to how life throws surprises when you least expect them. Imagine being in a position where someone, perhaps even a stranger, entrusts you with something that requires more than just skill. It requires understanding, empathy, and humanity. The woman wasn't looking for just a repair. She needed someone to step into her world, even if just for a moment, and meet her at a point of vulnerability. What he did next would define not only his character, but also the kind of person he was. It wasn't about tools or technical expertise anymore. It was about connection. This story reminds us of the human side of everyday encounters. Sometimes, in the most mundane of circumstances, we're presented with opportunities to make a real difference. But what exactly did she ask for? And how did this plumber handle such an unusual situation? That's the part of the story that truly captures the heart. The plumber's surprise, how he reacted. When the 64-year-old woman made her unexpected request, the plumber was momentarily taken aback. It wasn't the type of thing you prepare for during a regular workday. His reaction, however, was far from dismissive. He paused, took a deep breath, and carefully considered her words. This was a pivotal moment, not just for the plumber, but also for the woman, who clearly trusted him enough to make such a bold request. There's something profoundly human about how we respond to moments of vulnerability in others, and this was his chance to rise to the occasion. What truly stands out in this story is his ability to remain composed and empathetic. Instead of brushing her off or focusing solely on his job, he made the decision to listen. Active listening is a skill that goes beyond the professional realm. It is a sign of respect and understanding. In that instant, the plumber transitioned from a tradesman to someone who genuinely cared about the person in front of him. But it wasn't just about listening. It was about his actions that followed. His initial reaction, his body language, tone, and words set the tone for what came next. The woman's unusual request might have seemed odd to an outsider, but for her, it was clearly significant. And that's where the power of empathy came into play. Rather than questioning her or making her feel uncomfortable, he approached the situation with patience and dignity. His reaction wasn't just professional, it was deeply humane. The way he handled this unexpected situation teaches us a lot about how to respond to the unpredictable moments life throws at us. In the end, his reaction wasn't just a reflection of his personality. It was a powerful example of how small moments can turn into meaningful connections. This plumber's surprise and his response left an impression that went far beyond the repair he was initially hired for. His reaction wasn't just about fixing something in her home, it was about making a difference in her life. Why she specifically chose him? The question that lingers in everyone's mind is, why him? Out of all the people she could have approached, why did this 64-year-old woman feel compelled to ask this particular plumber for help with something so unconventional? The answer lies in a combination of trust, intuition, and the human ability to sense kindness in others. Sometimes, We encounter people who radiate a certain warmth or reliability, and in this case, it seems the woman saw something in him that made her believe he wouldn't just hear her out, but would also understand her need. It's important to consider the context of such decisions. For someone of her age, asking for help, especially with something deeply personal, requires courage. It isn't just about the physical act of asking, it's about finding someone who feels safe to trust. This isn't a trivial decision for anyone, let alone an older woman who may have experienced her fair share of disappointments or letdowns in life. Trust isn't given lightly, and the fact that she chose him is a testament to the way he carried himself, perhaps even unknowingly. There's also something to be said about intuition. People often rely on a gut feeling when making decisions like these. Maybe it was his demeanor, his politeness, or even the way he listened to her initial explanation of her plumbing issue that gave her the confidence to take that leap. These small, seemingly insignificant gestures can speak volumes to someone who is looking for reassurance. It's a reminder that how we present ourselves in even the smallest interactions can leave a lasting impression. Her choice reflects a deeper truth about human connection. We often underestimate the power of being approachable, empathetic, and genuine. In a world where people are increasingly distant, these qualities shine even brighter. She didn't just need someone skilled, she needed someone who would take her seriously, who wouldn't laugh or judge her request. And somehow she knew he was the one who could meet her at that emotional level. In the end, her decision wasn't random. It was the result of instinct, perception, and a need for connection. And by choosing him, she not only found the help she needed, but also created a moment that would stay with both of them for a long time. Her choice reminds us of the silent ways we influence others just by being ourselves. Breaking boundaries, a story of courage and trust. At the heart of this story is a powerful theme: breaking boundaries. The 64-year-old woman's request wasn't just unusual, it was bold. For her to ask something so unconventional required immense courage, not only to voice her need, but also to overcome the societal norms that often discourage such openness, especially at her age. Society tends to impose invisible boundaries on people, particularly older women, suggesting what is appropriate or acceptable behavior. This moment, however, was a striking example of breaking free from those limitations and choosing authenticity over fear. Courage often goes hand in hand with trust, and her decision to open up to the plumber reflected her deep belief in the importance of human connection. It's one thing to recognize your needs, but it's another to take the risk of asking someone else to meet them. That's where trust becomes essential. By stepping outside her comfort zone and breaking the unspoken barrier between client and professional, she demonstrated a rare bravery that many of us might struggle to find in similar situations. What's fascinating about this story is how it challenges our perception of boundaries. The plumber wasn't just there to fix a physical issue in her home. He became a participant in something far greater. His reaction to her courage further highlighted the importance of empathy and openness in such moments. Rather than retreating behind his professional role, he embraced the situation as a chance to connect on a deeper level. In doing so, both he and the woman were able to step beyond the traditional roles of service provider and client, creating a moment that transcended societal expectations. This story serves as a reminder that boundaries are often self-imposed or culturally ingrained, and breaking them can lead to profound experiences. The woman's courage to ask, coupled with the plumber's willingness to engage, is a testament to the transformative power of trust and connection. It shows that sometimes the most meaningful interactions occur when we dare to step outside the lines we've been taught to stay within. When a simple job changed a life. Sometimes, what begins as an ordinary day unfolds into an experience that leaves an indelible mark on your life. For the plumber, this was meant to be just another job. fixing a leak, repairing a pipe, or ensuring everything was in working order. But what he didn't know was that stepping into this 64-year-old woman's home would turn into a transformative encounter, not just for her, but for him as well. What happened that day was more than just a transaction of services. It became a story of human connection, empathy, and the unexpected ways we touch each other's lives. At first glance, it seemed like any other house call. But as the woman opened up about her unusual request, the dynamics of their interaction shifted. It was no longer about a professional performing a task. It became a moment where two people truly connected. This wasn't just a repair job, it was an opportunity for the plumber to show compassion and humanity in a way that would leave a lasting impression. And as he chose to engage with her on a deeper level, the moment transcended the boundaries of work and became a story worth telling. What makes this encounter so compelling is how it challenges the idea of routine. We often go through our days performing tasks mechanically, assuming they hold little significance beyond their immediate function. But this story reminds us that even the simplest interactions have the potential to create something profound. The plumber's decision to listen, understand, and respond with kindness turned what could have been a forgettable task into a life-changing moment for both of them. For the woman, it was likely a moment of being truly seen and heard, which can mean the world, especially in a society where older individuals often feel overlooked. For the plumber, it was a chance to step out of his role and make a difference in someone's life in an unexpected way. These moments, though seemingly small, ripple outward, leaving an impact far greater than we often realize. This story teaches us to approach life with openness and mindfulness. You never know when an ordinary situation might turn extraordinary, or when a routine job could become a meaningful chapter in someone else's life. And in those moments, it's our empathy and willingness to connect that truly define who we are. The message behind her unusual request. At first glance, the 64-year-old woman's request may seem unusual, even perplexing. Why would she step so far outside the bounds of a typical plumber-client interaction? But if we look beyond the surface, her request holds a deeper message, one that speaks to the human need for connection, understanding, and the courage to ask for help when it matters most. It wasn't just about the practical need she had, it was a moment of vulnerability, an invitation to bridge the gap between two strangers and create something meaningful. In a world where people often shy away from revealing their true needs for fear of judgment, her boldness is both inspiring and thought-provoking. By making her request, she reminded us of the importance of honesty in expressing what we truly want, even if it seems unconventional. There's a message here about the courage it takes to prioritize one's inner needs over societal expectations. It challenges us to ask ourselves, how often do we suppress our true desires simply because we worry about what others might think? The way the plumber responded to her request also carries an important lesson. His willingness to engage, rather than dismiss her, demonstrates how empathy and understanding can transform an ordinary encounter into an extraordinary one. Sometimes, all it takes is someone to listen without judgment, to validate another person's feelings and needs. This is the essence of human connection, acknowledging that, at our core, we all seek to be seen, heard, and understood. Her unusual request can also be seen as a metaphor for the silent struggles many people carry. Perhaps she didn't just need help with the specific task she asked for. Perhaps she was also seeking reassurance that her voice mattered, that someone would take her seriously even when her needs didn't align with the norm. The plumber's acceptance of her request sent a powerful message in return, that kindness and understanding are never out of place, no matter the circumstances. Ultimately, this story highlights the beauty of breaking away from conventional roles and meeting each other on a human level. The woman's request wasn't just about what she needed in that moment. It was a reminder of the strength it takes to ask and the power of choosing compassion when faced with the unexpected. The message behind her request is clear. Sometimes, the most meaningful connections are forged in the spaces where vulnerability and empathy intersect. What we can learn from this encounter. Every encounter in life, no matter how seemingly insignificant, holds the potential to teach us something profound. The story of the 64-year-old woman and the plumber is a testament to this truth. What began as a simple professional call evolved into a moment of unexpected connection and humanity. But beyond the specifics of their interaction, this story invites us to reflect on broader lessons about vulnerability, empathy, and the power of human connection. One of the most striking lessons from this encounter is the importance of being open to the unexpected. Life rarely unfolds according to plan, and the most meaningful moments often arise from situations we couldn't have predicted. The plumber could have dismissed the woman's unusual request as irrelevant to his job, but instead he chose to listen and engage with her as a person, not just a client. This openness to stepping outside his defined role allowed something extraordinary to happen, a reminder that flexibility and compassion can lead to experiences that enrich our lives in ways we never anticipate. Another valuable takeaway is the courage it takes to ask for what we need. The woman's willingness to make her unusual request speaks to a level of self-awareness and bravery that is often difficult to muster. It highlights the importance of honoring one's needs, even when doing so feels risky or unconventional. Her courage serves as an example of how vulnerability can be a strength, creating opportunities for genuine connection and mutual understanding. Equally important is the lesson of how we respond to others' vulnerabilities. The plumber's empathetic reaction demonstrates the profound impact of meeting someone's needs with kindness and without judgment. In a world where people often hesitate to show their true selves for fear of rejection, his response shows how small acts of understanding can validate and uplift others in ways that resonate deeply. This story also underscores the idea that everyone carries unseen struggles or desires. By approaching others with curiosity and respect, rather than assumptions, we open the door to connections that transcend superficial roles or expectations. The plumber's choice to engage with the woman on a human level, rather than strictly adhering to his professional duties, transformed a routine service call into a moment of mutual growth and understanding. Ultimately, this encounter reminds us to embrace life's unpredictability and approach each interaction with an open heart and mind. Whether we're the ones asking for help or the ones being asked, there is always an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to leave a lasting impact. In moments of vulnerability and empathy, we find the essence of what it means to be human. The power of humanity in unexpected moments. It is often in the most unplanned and unexpected moments that the depth of humanity is revealed. The story of the plumber and the 64-year-old woman is a powerful example of how an ordinary situation can transform into something deeply meaningful when approached with compassion and understanding. This encounter wasn't just about a professional coming to fix a problem. It became a profound reminder of the connections that bind us all as human beings. The true beauty of this story lies in how the plumber chose to respond to an unusual and vulnerable request. He could have easily dismissed it, staying strictly within the boundaries of his role. Instead, he saw a person in need, not just of practical help, but of kindness and support. This decision to act with empathy turned a simple house call into a moment of shared humanity. It reminds us that sometimes the most meaningful contributions we can make in someone's life aren't about the services we provide, but the way we treat them during those moments of need. Unexpected moments like these challenge us to step out of our predefined roles and connect with others on a deeper level. They remind us that humanity isn't about perfection or grand gestures. It's about the small, meaningful choices we make every day. The plumber's willingness to embrace the moment and respond with warmth and understanding is a testament to the strength of human decency and the importance of being present for others, even when it's not convenient or expected. This story also sheds light on the profound impact of recognizing someone's vulnerability without judgment. For the woman, her request was likely a moment of immense courage, a step outside the comfort zone of societal norms to ask for what she truly needed. For the plumber, it was an opportunity to validate that courage by responding with dignity and care. Their interaction illustrates how acts of kindness, no matter how small they may seem, can ripple outward, leaving a lasting impression on both the giver and the receiver. Ultimately, this encounter highlights the quiet but transformative power of humanity. It serves as a reminder that in a world often focused on tasks and efficiency, taking the time to truly connect with someone can create moments of profound meaning. It's these unexpected instances of compassion and understanding that stay with us, teaching us to see beyond the surface and embrace the shared human experience that unites us all. Sometimes it's the small, unexpected moments in life that remind us of the importance of humanity, compassion, and understanding. This story is proof that meaningful connections can happen anywhere if we're open to them. I hope it's inspired you to look for those moments in your own life. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this story. See you next time.